Not too long ago, some reports came out that said the cast on Jean DeBari was afraid of Johnny Depp. I reported on that, and I didn't realize exactly what Maiwenn said in her quote, but now she's here to explain that. This is from Variety, and ironically enough, it seems like they're pretty much putting out something in defense of Johnny when they've been pretty big on taking Amber's side. Anyway, it says, Maiwenn feels betrayed by interview about Johnny Depp, clarifies comment about Depp scaring the crew. He is one of the greatest actors. Exclusive, they claim, from April 25th, 2024. And I think afraid was what they used. And what I said was, that's a very flexible word. It could also mean they respect somebody, so they're scared of what that person will say to point out a mistake, to show them something about themselves they were doing wrong. But let's see what she says. Here's what the quote was from Maiwenn. I have to be honest, it's difficult to shoot with him. All the crew were scared because he has a different kind of humor, and we didn't know if he was going to be on time or if he was going to be okay with his lines. Maiwenn said during the independent interview, I mean, even if he was there on set, on time, the crew were afraid of him. Okay, so they say the crew was scared, but that doesn't necessarily mean scared of him. It's all in the wording. You might be scared to be working with him because, like I said, he might point out something about you that you're doing wrong, maybe even exposing something you're doing wrong in front of everybody, and you're scared to have that pointed out. Not that you're scared he's this terrible guy and he's going to say things on set at you that are mean and cruel and condescending for no reason. If you're working a job, and let's just say you're new or you're underqualified, you could be scared that someone who is qualified or someone who's a master at the job might point that out. That's one way to take it. I mean, why would someone just shooting the film, doing their job, need to be scared? Or extra actors, they don't really have a reason to be scared or afraid. Maiwenn clarified the comment in a statement to Variety, saying that she was referring to Depp's charisma and star status when discussing why he was scary. Nothing about Depp's behavior on set made anyone afraid of him. She clarified, yes, exactly. It was probably professionalism that she described as scary or afraid or whatever. Then the media and Amber fans ran with the ball, saying, look at this, look at this. And they quote her here. When I made the remark about Johnny being scary, I was talking about his charisma, his notoriety, his star status, etc., Maiwenn wrote, which is pretty much what I said in other words. I was shocked when I discovered that the newspaper had headlined that the crew were afraid of Johnny Depp because written like that and without its context and subtleties, it absolutely no longer means the same thing. The journalist did not want to grasp the subtlety of my words. Well, she probably shouldn't be surprised. That's pretty much what they do. I didn't like it, but I wasn't surprised. I'd like to make things very clear. Johnny is scary in the same sense that his charisma and his status as king is impressive, she continued. I should have used the word impressive if I had known the writer, Charlotte O'Sullivan, would use my words in such a malicious way. And they say Variety reached out to Sullivan for comment, but they did not get it, obviously. They point out some other quotes, like Depp went through the script demanded during the making of Jean DeBari, which is something else that's between him and them. I mean, to be honest, if he wasn't in the movie, how much less attention and sales would it have made? So he's got some pull in it, I think. I mean, I'm sure he signs a contract. Technically, she's the boss, I guess. She's the director. The company hired him to do the movie, but if you get my drift, there was somewhat of a symbiotic relationship. She said that he had a new version of the script and that she wasn't happy, and he was insulted when the changes weren't made. Hey, I can't say. Doesn't quite sound like Johnny to me. Could be another one of those word mix-up things, but all right. If so, that's just business. Why would I get mad at that? She said she cut some lines because his French wasn't perfect, and I would expect that. Like I've said over and over, I've been speaking Japanese for 20 years now. I know some people who have as well. Or on the other side, speaking English, it's never perfect. You can't quite fake it like a native speaker. Native speakers know. You know when someone's English is a little off or something like that. So I'm sure Johnny's French is pretty good. I can't quite say. But to a native speaker who's being critical about a movie where someone's playing a native speaker, then, you know, I'm sure some of it was a little off. And they keep going and going. I'm not going to read this word for word, but the point is, it seems mostly legit. Seems like a real article about Johnny, and it's not very negative. They point out some negativities and some positive things like this when she says, again, I want to be very clear, Johnny Depp's a huge actor, one of the greatest. He reminded me a lot of Marlon Brando, his genius, sufferings, generosity, and paradoxes. So yeah, I'm pretty surprised it's this long from Variety. They did not mention You Know Who one time. They included some quotes and some potential negativity about Johnny, but not really. They were just kind of saying what was out there. So maybe as time goes on, these anti-Johnny publications are going to be forced to, well, keep it more real. And I didn't think there was any bad air or anything between Johnny and Maiwenn. Who did? Except for Amber fans and like 3 journalists. Want to give Laura B a shout out. She sent me this. Thank you very much, Laura. Also, shout out to Mary Lynn. Thank you very much, Mary, for the support. And if you're not subscribed to, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.